Hey, it's Ben, CEO and founder here at Bold Deals, and in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how we got one of our clients, Jamal, 6 contracts in only 60 days, the first 2 months of working with us. And I'm switching up the styles this time, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So with that said, let's go to the iPad and dive straight in. Great, so now we're here on the iPad. I wanna start off with the proof that we actually got him the results, because a lot of agencies nowadays, they talk all this game, but they don't have the results to prove it. So my goal here is to show you all the data with transparency, how we got it, what to do versus what not to do, and hopefully I'll give you some action items and things you can copy for yourself into your business. So on the left here, we can see that he got 10 contracts. Oh, not 10 contracts, 5 contracts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He didn't update these values, so just ignore those for now. But I just wanted to show you the proof that we're actually getting the contracts within our pipeline. And if you zoom to the right here, we can actually track that he got actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 contracts, but one of them fell through, and we're gonna dive into that later. Again, we wanna operate with full transparency and honesty. As a side note, something that I think is really cool is that with all of our clients, tracking their client success, how much money they're gonna make, you know, how many contracts they got locked up, what's terminated, what actually went through is really, really important because it gives us full clarity and data of what's going on. That way we can make data-driven decisions to scale. It's funny because some other agencies have asked me to show them how we do this. It's a very simple automation, but you know, never reveal your secrets, I guess. But anyways, we have 6 contracts right here, and obviously I blocked out the seller's information because there's some weird people on the internet. But anyways, let's go to the next page and dive straight into the numbers. So on top here, I want to start on top here because this is, you know, this is the actual campaign that we're using, especially on Facebook ads, to generate him the results. So we're running 2 campaigns right now. We started with about 6. The only issues we were running into is that some of them weren't spending. So if that's an issue you're running into, simply duplicate your campaign and turn it on again. Keep the budget the same, and after a day, let them both spend, and then whatever campaign is spending, keep it running, whatever's not, turn it off, right? So we ran into this issues for about like 3 or 4 days. So a simple fix is to just duplicate it and keep it running. Another thing I think is really important is how you name your campaigns. So over here, well, let's start with the goal of naming our campaigns. The goal and the objective of naming our campaigns is so we can look at it with a glance and know exactly what we're running and what's happening, right? So obviously, Matt is the media buyer. Tailored, it's his own lingo. Leads, so that's the biggest thing that I want to highlight. We are generating leads here, not sales, not followers, leads. Make that very clear, right? And here we want to mention control. So what does that mean, right? A control is, think of it as like a science experiment, right? You have a control, what's stable basically, and you have a variable, right? And when it comes to inbound marketing, we have to always constantly be testing, right? So the way we break down media buying is into 3 main steps. There's testing, there's optimizations, and then there's scaling. Let's break that down. When you're testing campaigns, you want to test, or at least when we test campaigns, we test a few variables, right? So what are the variables that we test, right? So for us, we like to test audiences. So this is on the ad set level, and if you don't know what ad set stands for, it stands for ad settings. At least that's the way we break it down, right? And then when it comes to the ad level, where you're actually seeing the ad, you're testing your creatives. You test creatives or videos / UGC, and if you don't know what UGC is, that's simply user-generated content, right? You could also test your headlines as well as your ad copy. The beautiful thing is that whenever there's a quote by a guy named David Ogilvy, who is one of the best advertisers in history, where he states that 90% or is it like 80% of your advertising dollar is spent on just your headline. So that's the 80-20, right? Focus on your headline, and we're gonna dive into that shortly, or your creative. So for us, we already found what the winners were, so we just wanted to scale it, right? He's been with us for 60 days, so we already know what's working, what's not. So those are the campaigns, and we run 2 of them side by side, and obviously they're getting different results. So obviously you can see here that they're active. Leads, total of 62 leads. We can see that campaign 2. Let's name these campaigns. Let's name these campaigns 1 and campaigns 2, right? Frequency. Let's break down what frequency means. Frequency simply means how many times does the same person view your ad. So if you, Jack, or whoever's watching this, see somebody's ads twice, then that means the frequency is 2, right? That's kind of how it's calculated, right? Next thing is cost per result. The result in this case is leads, as I mentioned earlier. And there's a bit of a discrepancy here, right? So in campaign 1, we're at a $20 cost per lead, which is great, but we'll dive into attribution in a bit here. The second one is at 91%, right? It's at $91 cost per lead, which is pretty high, right? Which is a pretty high cost per lead, but I'll explain why that happens and how we do it. So average is about a $67 cost per lead. Let's just round up, right? Or $70 cost per lead for the sake of easy numbers. Budget, we're using ad set budget, so we're doing ABO, ad budget optimization. Spend right here, obviously there's a bit of a discrepancy as you can see. The old campaign 2, campaign 2, what do we call these? Yeah, campaign 2, I was about to say campaign A or B, but anyways, has spent 3,700. Easy numbers, right? This one's barely spent $500, right? So obviously we're gonna get more leads in one or the other, right? Cost per click, so how much does it cost for a lead to click on our ad, click on our ad? On average, it's about $6, not bad. Click-through rate, here's one thing I wanna highlight here. And basically what this means is how many people that see our ad actually convert into a click, right? How many people that see, so out of 100 people and only 2 people click, which is not bad, by the way. KPI is 1%, 1.5 on the higher end. So 2, anything above 2 for us, we're really happy about, right? And then finally, cost per impressions, right? So how much does it cost to reach 1,000 people, right? Or get 1,000 impressions. The thing that I wanna highlight here is that the more markets you go into, the cheaper it gets, right? And that becomes a domino effect. The more markets I'm gonna say that again, the more markets you go into, the cheaper it gets, and as a result, everything becomes a domino effect. Cheaper cost per impressions, cheaper cost per clicks, cheaper cost per leads, cost per contracts, cost per closed deal, etc. Right? So for us, I'm not too concerned about it right now, but it's within KPI is the point I'm trying to make, right? Based off of the markets that he's in. Great, so another thing I really wanna highlight here is the date range, right? As you can see, it's November 1st, which is pretty much when he started with us, to January 23rd, which is today, if you look at the top left corner, right? So, and the reason why I wanna put emphasis on that is because a lot of agencies are running or showing results from like 3 years ago, and it's not even real or realistic anymore. So wanna make sure the results, the dates are in the right, are real. That way you don't get misled by these other agencies. But anyways, let's dive into the numbers. Obviously, we don't need the ad account link right now. But ad spend, $4,133, 62 leads generated, as you could see right here. Let's highlight that right there. Daily ad spend is $100 a day, $67 cost per lead. Facebook ads is a platform, obviously. 6 contracts, 1 got terminated. Cost per contract right now is almost $700, which is really, really impressive given the markets he's in, right? So I want to put emphasis on that, right? When it comes to markets, he's only targeting really 2 states and a few counties in those states. For example, in Philadelphia, as you can see right here, he's doing Delaware County, Chester County, Montgomery County, and then Delaware, he's doing Newcastle County. If you see my other videos, I always emphasize to go as broad as possible. But what happens when you're going, in other case, local markets, right? It's really the same process, right? And the beautiful thing about the way we ran ads and the point of the stage of the campaign we're at right now is we're already optimizing. We already have amazing KPIs, I guess is the best way to put it, right? Because in the beginning, sure, we were getting $100, $150 cost per leads, but then we soon found what exactly is working, and then we can optimize as well as scale the campaigns, right? So when you get to that stage, which doesn't take long, maybe 4 to 6 weeks, I'd say, we'll get to a point where our KPIs are above average, I guess is the best way to put it. Deals terminated, none yet, but we have 1 contract that has been terminated. So let's talk about our exact strategy as to how we made this happen. And it all starts with our creative, right? So if you don't know what a creative is, it's basically the picture or the video you see whenever you opt into an ad. So as you can see here, I gave an example, and what you're gonna notice is that it's a little different. A lot of agencies run the generic we buy houses, cash offer as is ads, and don't get me wrong, those work, right? Those absolutely work. However, for us, we want to go a little bit more niche and target our ideal avatar, somebody that's going through an actual pain point, because it helps with lead quality. And if we're spending the same amount of money, we might as well get a better lead, right? It's common sense, but like I always say in all my videos, common sense is not so common nowadays. Great, so let's dive in. On this ad right here, we have a foreclosure. This one is a sub 2 ad. So we have some clients that do sub 2 creative finance, so we have ads for that. Excuse my handwriting. This one is a tired landlord, right? So tired landlord. Oh my gosh. This is why I'm a typer instead of a writer. And then this one's pre-foreclosure, so you can see it right there, right? Cool. Next, whenever somebody clicks on that ad, it goes to one of two things. It either goes to a lead form, which is on Facebook, it's native to Facebook's platform, or you can push them to a landing page. And it's a little bit more challenging, but it's transparent. It's not rocket science, where you're pushing somebody off the platform to go to your website, to go to your landing page and fill out the information. So for us at our landing page, we run a 3-step landing page funnel, right? It's our opt-in, it's our property information, and then it's our calendar with a call option. So I'll break down the first two because it's easy. The first two, we basically try to get their 4 main pillars: motivation, timeline, property info, asking price. And then in this, and then the third step, I should say, is to get them to schedule an appointment with the acquisition manager. And then after they schedule, we give the seller the option to call us directly, right? People talk about speed to lead, of how quickly it takes for them to reach out to the client. But imagine how good your contact rates are going to be when the seller's calling you. You literally just have to answer your phone. And what else is just don't be a realtor, right? Realtors never answer their phones, I guess. If you're a realtor, don't be one of those realtors that never answers their phone. Anyways, jokes aside, that's how we capture leads and actually get them into our sales ecosystem is what we refer to it. But that's just 50% of the puzzle. That's just half the problem. We actually have to take that opportunity and convert them into a deal. So let me walk you through how this works. So for us and our clients, they have the option to actually have our internal lead managers call up, vet, qualify, screen the sellers to make sure they're in a position where they need to sell as opposed to just wanting to sell. So for Jamal here, we actually did this for him, right? So we have our script or framework that we go to. So we have our opening connecting phase. So we really want to understand, like, hey, what got you to click on our ad? What are you going through right now? Is there anything that stood out to you about the ad that caught your attention? Because what this really does, transparently, is it not only sells them as to why they clicked on our ad, but it also gives us feedback to see what's working. Because we can think an ad or a creative is amazing, but if the market doesn't think that, it doesn't matter. Because we respond to the market, right? So if you look at an org chart, we're going a little off topic for a second, but bear with me. If you look at an org chart, you have your VAs, and then you have maybe a VA manager, and then you have your acquisition managers, for example, and then they have a sales manager, and then there's your COO, and then there's a CEO, which is probably you, right? But who does the CEO report to? The CEO reports to the market, right? Because without the market, you won't have anybody to work with. Right. So that's that. Requesting permission. So we like to state the agenda. And what this does is it gives sellers a bit of control in the beginning. Right. We don't want to relinquish all control. That's not how you do it. And state the agenda. So hold our frame. Right. It was like, hey man, if it's cool with you, I'd love to walk you through how this is going to work, and get some information about you, your property, what's going on, to see how we can best serve you. Something along those lines. And then you get fact finding. Current situation, where they're at right now, how long, what else have they tried in the past to try and sell their property, how much are they looking to get, property condition, etc. Right? So that's the first, what is it, 3 and 4 right here, right? So 3 and 4. And then you want to set expectations, at least our lead managers set expectations, explains to the seller how this process works. Hey, we'll connect you with one of our home buying specialists, yada, yada, yada. And then we either live transfer or set an appointment. And the reason why I went over this with you guys is so you understand exactly how we operate within our lead manager team. That way you could possibly copy it for yourself. And obviously, we put in notes like this. I chose a very recent deal that he closed today. Or is it today? Today's the 22nd. Yeah, so it's just keeping communication. So he actually locked up this deal January 17th, which is 6 days ago, almost a week ago. So as you can see, our team, his team, himself will put in notes, and that's how we keep the CRM fresh. So if you're an acquisition manager or a CEO, salesperson in general, and you're not updating your CRM, this is a reminder: update your CRM. So with that said, that's pretty much it, right? That's exactly how we got Jamal 6 contracts, right? Specifically 5, because one of them fell through, in 60 days of working with us using Facebook ads. And I walk you through not only our marketing, but our sales process that we use to present him with qualified opportunities that he can actually close, right? Like I said, if you got value out of this, all I ask is you comment any questions or concerns you have, something you're going through, a challenge, bottleneck, etc. As well as subscribe. That's like your version of saying thank you to me, so I really appreciate that. And if you are a virtual wholesaler who's doing 2 or more deals per month, and you're looking for a consistent, profitable inbound marketing system to get your team a consistent flow of deals like we did with Jamal, click the link in the description or the link in the comments, schedule a call with either me or a member of my team, and I'd love to show you exactly how we can help. With that said, my name is Benjamin, CEO and founder here at Bolt Deals, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.